I can't wait to try these out on my friends. Yes, I will be the greatest duelist ever.
You kids are all just crazy.
Crazy about dueling.
We're back and reacting to the Yu-Gi-Oh! School of Duel Advanced Duelist, one of a 3-part series of DVDs from all the way back in 2004 to teach people how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now obviously these are going to be super outdated, but there's always a part of me that loves these sort of time capsule videos where you get to just relive the way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Was back in the day. Oh, and to be clear, these were unofficial guides, so they weren't published or endorsed by Konami. Let's get into this Advanced Duelist guide and learn just how the heck we're supposed to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At least 2004.
Welcome to the School of Duel. I am Professor Duel.
Professor Duel? Okay.
In this advanced video, you will learn about quick play spell cards, continuous spell cards, toon monsters, spell speeds, chains, and more.
So right off the bat, this is actually a pretty big list of game mechanics to cover, but I have to give them credit for being so thorough. I didn't mention it before, but this whole DVD is like almost an hour long, so obviously we're not going to be covering every little thing, but yeah, there's a lot of value for money here if you bought this.
Join me in my study as we visit the School of Duel.
Hello? Anybody here?
Hello, Bradley.
Professor Duel? Are you here?
Is that you, Bradley? Can you hear me now?
Where are you?
Oh, I'm close by. Close enough to help my friends with their dueling lessons. I've been expecting you, Bradley, for some time. You've come a long way in your dueling skills in a very short time.
Alright, this intro is a bit weird, but I will say it is really cool that they basically established a whole Duel Academy setting and apparently filmed it at a real school, I suppose. The first DVD was literally just 2 kids at someone's house after school, so this is a pretty big budget upgrade. Maybe the first one was really successful.
Look at all this stuff.
That's my lunch, Bradley.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Did he just say that the collector's tins on a table that clearly has cards in it is his lunch?
I want to win on the schoolyard and beat my friends. I want to enter tournaments, but I just don't think that I'm ready. I want to become a master duelist.
I'm not gonna give this kid too much of a hard time because he's literally just a kid, but man, does the wooden delivery just make it obvious they're reading off a teleprompter.
Will you teach me?
Of course.
But how? You're not even here.
Yes, right now and right here, Bradley. I'm closer than you think.
Is that not a little bit unnerving? Is he actually hiding in a closet or under the desk or something, just watching them? Like, could he not just be there for filming?
But before we can complete your teachings, you must first send me your friends and family.
Yes, that's right, kid. Send everyone you know and love to the sentient voice in the empty building.
You'll just have to trust me.
I do, Professor. But I don't have any cards with me.
Yes, you do.
Whoa, that was cool. You do magic spells.
That was not a spell, but this is. There are 6 types of spell cards.
Wait, so if it wasn't a spell, then what was it? Like, I'm serious. Physical cards just spawned into existence.
I'll show you. Mystical Space Typhoon is a good card to use to demonstrate the power of quick play spell cards. Pretend that we are in the middle of our duel.
Okay, this is just my content creator brain going off, but where did they get such a high quality version of the quick play spell icon? Like seriously, YouTubers like me would kill for assets like that, and they just casually had access to it in 2004?
Now it's my turn. I draw. I will summon my Dream Clown with 1200 ATK. I will equip it with Malevolent Nuzzler, which boosts the ATK of my Dream Clown by 700 for a total of 1900. If my monster were to attack your monster, as it stands now, my 1900 ATK beats your 1800 ATK.
Something kind of interesting and awkward is that they always call attack and defense points ATK and DEF in these videos. Even though it sounds weird, I mean, I think they're technically right. Like, the game never really says attack points. Every card that uses, attack or defense values actually just puts the letters ATK, I think. So I don't know, maybe somebody can fact check that, but either way, credit to them for, I guess, trying to stick exactly to the text.
Let's say that you didn't activate your mystical space typhoon during my main phase 1. You saw the attack I was building up to, but you also knew what you had waiting in your spell and trap card zone. But here comes the good part. You can activate your mystical space typhoon during the battle step. Since the battle step starts once I have declared that I am attacking your Harpy's brother, when you destroy my malevolent nuzzler, my Dream Clown's points go right back down to 1200, and I still have to attack.
I see. You would lose 600 life points, and your monster is destroyed. Wow, that is a Master Duelist concept.
Yes, it is.
Alright, here's our first advanced dueling tip, and I have to say it's actually a pretty solid one. They're basically showing like how you can save your MST and use it when your opponent already attacked you. Now, I know all of you big-brained geniuses watching are well aware of this stuff already, but it's actually a really big interaction that a lot of kids just wouldn't think about, especially at the time. So they're actually dropping some really big knowledge bombs, even if Professor Duelist is kind of sketchy.
I activate Scapegoat. This is another quick play spell card. It lets me place 4 monster tokens on the field, which...
Monster tokens?
Yes, monster tokens. When a card calls for monster tokens, you use an object such as a coin, a die, or other small item to represent a monster. You can use almost anything so long as it has 2 sides to represent attack and defense positions.
I don't know about you guys, but I just straight up don't remember how we resolved things like Scapegoat as a kid. I know it's technically illegal to use like coins and dice and stuff for tokens in tournaments, but it still works in casual duels, so I'll give them some credit for just explaining that concept to kids here.
Thanks for having me over today, Professor Duel. Bradley said you had a few things you wanted to teach me about dueling. I really appreciate you taking the time out for this lesson.
No problem.
Actually, there is a problem. I have to be better than all those boys at my school. They don't take me seriously as a duelist. That is, unless I can beat them.
I'm surprised they included this whole boys underestimate girls subplot. But I guess as long as she's like learning how to beat them, I'm kinda here for it. And not to skip ahead too much, but there's actually another girl later in the video, so I'm glad they got a decent bit of female representation here because, contrary to popular belief, women can play Yu-Gi-Oh too.
So I activate Toon World in my spell and trap card zone. But it says I have to pay 1,000 life points to activate it?
Yes, you do. But toon monsters are very special, as you will soon see.
So I just noticed they use a Toon World magic card. I didn't show it here, but they actually mentioned at the beginning of the DVD how magic cards got changed to spell cards so kids don't get confused. But I figured they'd actually try to be like consistent with that throughout the video. It's not the only time it happens, I think. I think there's like a few other magic cards in here, but whatever, I'm nitpicking.
Wow. You mean I can go from no monsters to Toon Summon Skull, a tribute monster, in just one turn? Now I'm really gonna do some damage.
Stilted acting aside, I will say that they are selling Toon monsters pretty well here. Actually, wait, were Toons technically the first special summon spam deck? Like, obviously it wasn't easy to do, but they could flood your field with monsters if you had them and just special summon them all, so, maybe?
I'll check all my cards when I get home and be sure to use them wisely.
Go home and practice, young Hannah, and we'll see you back here again soon.
Thanks, Professor. I bet I'll do a lot better when I battle the boys now. They're not gonna know what hit them.
You know, I guess it actually makes sense that they'd have a boys versus girls thing, kind of gender roles bit going on here since it was 20 years ago, and we all know how society, and especially kids back then, would have been. All that to say, I'm rooting for you, Hannah. You go, girl.
Bradley tells me that you're an up-and-coming duelist.
Yeah, but I don't duel against my brother a lot. He's real good, and he always beats me.
Aw, I actually feel kind of bad for Max. Like, he looks so nervous walking in, and you can just tell he's super uncomfortable reading the lines.
Okay, let's see. I activate Ultimate Offering. It says I can pay 500 life points and perform a normal summon. But I can only summon a monster during my own turn, right?
Usually that's true, Max, but a continuous trap card can be activated at any time after the end of the turn during which it was set.
Looking back, I don't think Ultimate Offering ever really felt like a super busted, abusable card as a kid. I mean, obviously it is, and it got banned a while back, but I don't think any of us ever really used it that way. I mean, like, that's probably just because nobody really knew how to use it in the first place.
I'll use Ultimate Offering to summon Spirit of the Harp. Then I can send these two monsters to the graveyard as a tribute and bring out my Red Eyes Bee Dragon.
In this case, when you special summoned another monster to the field, you triggered a replay. Since you now have such a strong monster on the field, I'm going to change my mind and not attack.
So they actually made a little mistake here. He says that Max special summoned a monster and that's what caused the replay, but he really tribute summoned the Red Eyes with Ultimate Offering, which is kind of the point of this whole section of the video. So like, yeah, I know that the explanation doesn't really change anything and the concept's still the same. And if I sound like I'm being nitpicky over trivial details, then welcome to what we read on YouTube comments basically every day.
This continuous trap is totally rad, Professor Duel.
I'm not familiar with the term rad. Is that a good thing?
Yes, very good. Do you think I can beat my brother now, Professor Duel?
Well, I'm not sure, Max, but what I do know is that you're definitely on your way to becoming one tough advanced duelist.
But Max just kind of doesn't really react at all here. Like basically the professor's like, yeah kid, you're doing great. And the kid's just sort of like, please let me get out of here already.
Advanced Duelist. I wish. I've got so much to learn still.
That's exactly why I asked Bradley to send you here, Chad. I think if you begin to understand the impact of some of the lesser-known rules, you'll be on your way.
I'm trying, Professor Duel. I've been training for so long.
What do you think would really help to improve your game, Chad?
Besides these? It's for my dexterity, you know?
Oh my god, this guy, like what a tool.
I don't know. I've got these great counter traps in my deck, and I would love to make the most of them, but I just don't know how.
Perfect. Since your 7 tools of the bandit negates my magic jammer, then the effect of your dark hole is activated. I lose my dream clown, and I have no monsters left on the field.
With your field cleared, I will summon 7 colored fish, and I will enter my battle phase, and I will attack your life points directly.
Very good, sport.
The Dark Magician meme before the Dark Magician meme was a thing.
Let me guess. You must be Bradley's father, Brian.
What do you think he was expecting to find by shaking the tin? Like seriously, if there's cards inside, wouldn't you just open it and see what cards are inside instead of shaking everything around? Also, does anybody else think about how awkward it must be for these people to just kind of like walk into this dark, empty office and stand around until the sentient radio box thing suddenly talks to them?
As a dad, it's great to see my child play a game that makes him strategize and think about every move. It's so hard to find activities that we can all do together as a family, and I know how much the kids enjoy this game. And I really enjoy dueling too, but I'd like to provide a better challenge.
Taking another break from roasting the DVD to say that it is actually really wholesome to see a supportive parent who, really likes and engages with their kids' interests. Looking back, my mom basically did the same thing for me when I was a kid, and in a way, it's literally why I'm in front of you guys today, so I don't know, that just means a lot to me. Bonus points.
But the fusion cards themselves, which are violet, do not come from your deck. They come from their own pile called the Fusion Deck, which is placed on the Fusion Deck zone before the start of the duel. And remember, fusion monsters do not count against the 40-card minimum. Go ahead and look through your Fusion Deck, so you'll know what you've got.
Okay, 1, shout out to today's one was still called the Fusion Deck. That's pretty cool. Good times. And 2, he calls them violet, but I always thought that fusion monsters were purple. Now that said, I also call trap cards pink, even though apparently people these days seem to call them purple. I know it's all semantics and none of it really matters anyway, but what do you guys call them? Let me know in the comments.
You know, Professor Duel, when I challenge my friends, I know that I'm an okay duelist, but I always feel like if I just knew a few more of the advanced rules, like maybe how to use trigger and continuous effect monsters, I would be a much better player. Do you think you can teach me?
What an oddly specific thing to be aware of. I guess it's not all that weird to have a few weak areas that you want to improve on in the game, but the way she says it is just funny to me. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm pretty good at Yu-Gi-Oh, but if I just knew this one specific mechanic, I would be way better. And so it's like, you would think that you would have just studied it on your own, but I'm probably just thinking too far into it.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
What?
I usually set my Sangan face down, since it has a relatively low ATK of its own.
So now my Mahavelo attacks your face down monster. Wink, wink.
You make a good point.
You should subscribe to Team APS. Wink, wink.
Hello, Professor Duel. It's me again, Bradley.
Come on in, Bradley. I've been looking forward to your return. Spell Speed 3 cards can be used to counter any Spell Speed cards 1, 2, or 3. You see, Bradley, spell speeds relate to chains. In my opinion, this is the secret to dueling success.
You know, I actually think that the creepy professor's kind of onto something with that bit. I mean, like, Yu-Gi-Oh's got a lot of rules and mechanics and stuff that you can get good at, but I would say that chains are probably the single most important thing to understand.
I activated Trap Hole after your summon. Trap Hole is a Spell Speed 2 card because it is a normal trap card. In response to the activation of Trap Hole, you activated 7 Tools of the Bandit, which is a Spell Speed 3 card because it is a counter trap card. In this case, our chain has only 2 links, or 2 cards. To resolve a chain, we apply the effects in the opposite order in which the cards were activated.
I really liked how they visualized cards going onto a chain just in this video. I'm a big sucker for good visual representation of a concept, especially since the chain system is actually super intuitive and clicks pretty quickly for you, but sometimes you just need to see it laid out like this. It's kind of like the Master Duel chain effects that came literally 20 years later, so they were out of their time.
Activate Mystical Space Typhoon and destroy your face down card. Do you wish to continue?
Yes, I do. I activate Wabaku.
Wait, you can't. I just destroyed it.
No, you didn't. You activated a card that can destroy it, but I get to respond. You remember the whole "do you wish to continue" thing, right?
Oh, I see. Since your Wabaku is a Spell Speed 2 trap card, you can chain it against my Mystical Space Typhoon.
Wow, I'm impressed. They actually debunked the whole MST negates thing. This gets bonus points for me because that was actually like a huge playground Yu-Gi-Oh myth fallacy thing, and you know, nowadays everybody knows, it's like a meme or whatever, but actually explaining this to like new or like young players back in the day would actually have been a really big deal, so good on them.
But I still don't get it, Professor Duel. How was sending my family and friends to you supposed to help me conquer my opponents?
Did you not duel with them after our last visit?
Yes, I did.
And did they not all become stronger opponents?
Yes, very much so. They were tough opponents.
And did you not learn with each duel, your skills improving with each and every turn?
Ah, yes, I did. So you mean by playing better opponents, I've become better myself?
Really? No shit, Bradley. How do you think you were gonna get better at Yu-Gi-Oh? Just sitting alone in your room every day, playing against yourself like I did as a kid?
Come back and visit me here soon. Or you can visit me at any time at my schoolofduel.com website.
Okay, so I was actually really curious about their website and I decided to see if it still exists. Obviously it doesn't, but I used the Wayback Machine to kind of get a snapshot of it from back in the day. Now, obviously the homepage is pretty much just selling you on their DVDs, but they actually had an entire set of forums where people could just share deck lists and ask for help with rulings or just talk about their favorite new cards. So it's really cool. I don't know, it brings me back to the old like Pojo or Duelist grounds days, if any of you guys remember those sites. But yeah, so that's basically it. I know we kind of sped through this one, but there was a lot to cover and I wanted to hit all the high points. If you guys want to actually check out the real video, I'm gonna have the link in the description. All in all, this one gets my seal of approval. I know a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh guides are pretty much just cringy cash grabs that barely actually explain anything, and this one does sort of tick the cringy box in places, but there is some really good stuff here. They're pretty thorough about explaining concepts and using what I would say were realistic examples from the time, from like real starter and structure decks that kids would actually probably see in a duel, plus bonus points for showing parents who play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or girls who play Yu-Gi-Oh!, that kind of thing. And even though this video wasn't officially sponsored by Konami or Upper Deck at the time, it honestly could have been. I mean, it was really good. A lot like how this video is sponsored by Ridge Wallets. That's right, Ridge makes slim, sleek, and modern wallets designed with both form and function in mind. They come in a huge variety of colors and designs and have some really cool features too. The wallets hold up to 12 cards that you can easily access at any time, plus a cash strap if you ever need to carry a few dollars, maybe to even out that last Yu-Gi-Oh trade. There's also RFID protection built in to protect yourself from unwanted credit card scanning, and the durable materials ensure that these wallets can take a real beating. And trust me, I know, I've used one for years and it's still kicking. So yeah, if you're in the market for a stylish new wallet for yourself or as a gift, check out Ridge Wallets by clicking the link in the video description. It's ridge.com/APS. Thanks again to Ridge for sponsoring this video.